CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.
Now the news. I'm Shane Begum. Chinese President Xi Jinping's arrived in Nur-Sultan for a state visit to Kazakhstan. Following his state, Xi Jinping will pay a state visit to Uzbekistan and attend the annual summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says the country is considering sending a high-level delegation to the funeral of Britain's Queen Elizabeth II. Heads of state from across the world, including U.S. President Joe Biden, are expected to attend the state funeral in central London on Monday. The Armenian Defense Ministry says fresh clashes erupted between Azerbaijani and Armenian troops on Wednesday. Came a day after scores died in the deadliest fighting between the neighbors since 2020, prompting an appeal for calm from Russian President Vladimir Putin. Mihail Bar-David has more.
Armenia's defense ministry claimed that drones were used by Azerbaijani forces, specifically in the direction of Yarmouk, but it's not clear whether or not there are any new casualties on both sides. On Tuesday, it was announced by Armenia that they had lost 49 people, and from Azerbaijan, it was announced that they had lost 50 members of their forces. On Tuesday, following a request by Armenia, the CSTO, Collective Security for Treaty Organization, had a meeting chaired by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Later, the organization announced that it was deciding to set up a working group for constant monitoring of the situation. And Armenia has also requested an extraordinary UN Security Council meeting as well. It's been announced that this has been accepted.
Kyrgyz and Tajik border guards exchanged fire on Wednesday after a fresh dispute regarding the border between the two Central Asian nations. The Tajik side says Kyrgyz border guards opened fire on their outposts with guns and mortars. Neither side reported any casualties. A hospital official says 10 people died from a second day of airstrikes on Ethiopia's Tigray region on Wednesday. The attacks came after authorities there expressed readiness for a ceasefire. The official says twin drone attacks hit a residential neighborhood in the regional capital, Mekelle, killing 10 people and injuring others. Tigray has been hit by several airstrikes since fighting resumed in late August between government forces and Tigray People's Liberation Front rebels. The 77th session of the UN General Assembly is underway under new President Zaba Karosi. Education, climate change, and the global fuel and food crises are among the items at the top of the agenda. Caroline Malone has more.
The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is trying to address the food crisis already. He's been part of trying to bring about deals with Russia and with Turkey to reissue exports. And that's of crucial importance at the moment because of drought happening right now in East African countries. Now, Antonio Guterres has also been speaking and making statements about climate change. He's talked about the world's addiction to fossil fuels and the need to address that. Education is also top of the agenda. There's going to be a big global summit where people are looking at addressing getting access to education for every student around the world.
China's permanent mission to the United Nations in Vienna says the IAEA chief's report on the nuclear submarine cooperation under the AUKUS deal lacks a proper legal basis. It said the report selectively cited the AUKUS countries' self-justifying statements while leaving out the international community's major concerns about nuclear proliferation. The Chinese mission urged the United States, the UK, and Australia to immediately stop proliferation activities and called on Rafael Grossi to refrain from endorsing the three countries' moves. King Charles III has met with members of Sinn Féin who offered their condolences over the death of Queen Elizabeth II. The new king spoke during an audience with the Speaker of the Northern Ireland Assembly and pledged to carry on the work of his mother. Both the Assembly Speaker and Sinn Féin's Vice President hailed the late Queen's role in peace and reconciliation. Sinn Féin's a nationalist party that wants Northern Ireland to leave the United Kingdom and become part of the Republic of Ireland. It became the largest party in Northern Ireland's Assembly in May. More than 10,000 fishing boats have returned to port in Zhejiang province as Typhoon Meifa approaches. Provincial authorities have upgraded the emergency response to the highest level. Regions across Zhejiang are making preparations to cope with possible emergencies such as power outages. South Korea has fined Google and Meta millions of dollars for privacy law violations. The country's Personal Information Protection Commission says it fined the two firms a combined 100 billion won, or around $72 million. The privacy panel says the firms did not clearly inform users and obtain prior consent when collecting and analyzing behavioral information to infer their interests or use them for customized advertisements. And that's the news. I'm Shane Begum.